Massive solid gold treasures discovered by archaeologists shock the world. Welcome to Ancient History Channel. Dear friends, have you ever thought that with just a single swing of a shovel, someone could stumble upon a treasure worth hundreds of millions of dollars? Dollars so significant that it could even alter the course of human history? Sounds like something out of a sci-fi movie, right? But no, this is real, and it has happened, not just once, but many times across the world. Throughout our journey to uncover the past, people have accidentally unearthed massive hoards of pure gold, treasures that shine not only in material value, but also in the mysteries they hold about ancient civilizations. Some of these treasures were discovered deep beneath the ocean, while others lay quietly underground for thousands of years, waiting for the moment to be revealed. What's truly remarkable is that all these treasures share one extraordinary trait. They're not just signs of great wealth, but also carry stories so powerful they've shaken the world of archaeology. They can be collections of gold, silver, and jewels, sacred statues, or even entire buried cities. Every time one is found, it doesn't just change the life of the person who discovered it, it also forces historians to rewrite parts of our forgotten past. And in today's video, we'll explore some of the most mind-blowing treasures ever discovered, completely by chance, yet with a significance so vast it left humanity in awe. Get ready, because what you're about to hear are unbelievable yet entirely true stories of mysterious and earth-shattering treasures. Are you ready? Let's dive into the first treasure. A $1 trillion gold mountain hidden inside a 5,000-year-old temple in India. In India, a land often hailed as the cradle of magnificent ancient civilizations, there exists a sacred temple that has stunned the entire world. But it's not because of its grand architecture or mystical religious rituals. No, what makes it truly extraordinary is the fact that beneath its ancient stone lies an actual mountain of gold. This is the Sri Padmanabhaswamy Temple, located in Thiruvananthapuram, the capital city of Kerala, India. The name might be a bit long, right? But the story behind it is even longer, stretching back over 5,000 years according to belief. From a distance, the Sri Padmanabhaswamy Temple already resembles a massive treasure with its golden exterior shimmering in the sunlight. But don't be fooled by appearances. The real gold lies hidden deep underground, inside secret vaults that have sparked rumors and legends for thousands of years. According to legend, over many generations of kings who ruled the region of Travancore, countless treasures were brought to the temple as offerings to the gods. Gold, silver, gemstones, jewelry, all buried beneath the temple as a sacred promise to the divine. And it wasn't until 2011, following a groundbreaking ruling by India's Supreme Court, that this thousand-year-old secret was officially unlocked. That year, control of the temple was transferred from the royal family of Travancore to the government. A special committee was formed, and soon 6 massive treasure vaults, labeled Vaults A through F, began to be explored. Now, what do you think happens when you open a door that's been sealed for thousands of years? The answer? Treasures worth an estimated $22 billion in gold, gemstones, and jewelry were uncovered. And that was just from Vaults C through F. Vault A? It required advanced modern technology just to access. But the most jaw-dropping vault is Vault B, the one that has yet to be opened. Rumors claim it holds a treasure worth over $1 trillion, equivalent to the combined GDP of several nations. However, Vault B remains unopened to this day. Some believe breaking it open would trigger an ancient curse. Others say the government is hesitant because no one truly knows what lies inside. Do you think there could really be an unimaginable treasure hidden within? I won't dare to guess, because what's already been found in the other vaults is enough to leave experts speechless. For example, a gold chain measuring 17.7 feet, 1,764 pounds of gold coins, 2,000 rubies, a 4 feet tall golden statue encrusted with emeralds, a diamond-studded crown, and even solid gold elephant statues. So really, if someone says Vault B might contain a massive treasure, who could argue otherwise? But with all the treasure that has been discovered, one major question arises: what should be done with it? This remains a hotly debated topic. Many citizens believe the treasure should be distributed to help the poor. After all, it was donated over centuries by ordinary people out of faith and sacrifice. However, experts argue that this treasure is a priceless cultural heritage and must be preserved intact. A national museum might be the most balanced solution. allowing the public to admire the artifacts while ensuring their historical value remains protected. The Treasure of Nimrud, a 2,600-year-old royal secret unearthed. There are some treasures whose value cannot be measured in money. Some discoveries leave the entire world holding its breath, and the Treasure of Nimrud is one of them. Not just because of its vast wealth in gold and jewels, but because of the ancient royal secrets it has preserved beneath the earth of northern Iraq. Hailed as the largest treasure ever discovered in the Middle East, the Treasure of Nimrud was buried deep within the ancient city of Nimrud, once the glorious capital of the Assyrian Empire, one of the most brilliant civilizations of Mesopotamia. The city was founded in the 13th century BCE by King Shalmaneser I. At its peak, Nimrud was the political, religious, and artistic center of the empire, referred to as the beating heart of Assyrian civilization. But after more than 700 years, Nimrud was brutally destroyed in 612 BCE during a massive war between the Assyrians and the Babylonians, marking the end of a golden era. It seemed everything had been lost to the ashes of history, until more than 2,400 years later, the past unexpectedly spoke again. In 1845, British archaeologist Austen Henry Layard began the first excavations in Nimrud. During his work, he unearthed numerous bas-reliefs, stone statues, and gold and silver jewelry. These findings shocked the archaeological world at the time, but in truth, they were only scratching the surface. Then, in the 1950s, another British archaeologist, Max Mallowan, continued the exploration. He discovered an ancient palace chamber believed to have housed Assyrian royal women. Remarkably, much of it remained intact, from the architecture and layout to clear traces of the culture that once ruled a vast region. But the real breakthrough came in 1988, marking a true earthquake in the world of archaeology. That year, Iraqi archaeologist Muzahim Mahmud, while researching an ancient temple complex, stumbled upon a passageway leading underground. There, he discovered an elaborate underground tomb complex filled with an astonishing array of precious artifacts. But that wasn't all. Mahmud would go on to excavate 3 more tombs, one of which belonged to the queen of King Ashur-nasir-pal II, one of the most powerful rulers in Assyrian history. Each tomb contained hundreds of gold artifacts, rings, necklaces, earrings, hairpins, crowns, and other royal items. These weren't just beautiful, they were masterpieces of craftsmanship, testifying to the artistic and technological sophistication of the ancient Assyrians. The Treasure of Nimrud is so priceless that just a few years ago, a plan to exhibit the artifacts in Germany had to be completely canceled. And the reason? No insurance company was willing to cover it. Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true. The potential loss was simply incalculable. So yes, in terms of sheer material value, it's enormous. But in terms of historical, cultural, and heritage value, it is absolutely priceless. The solid gold treasure in King Tutankhamun's tomb and 3,000 artifacts that shocked the world for a century. If there's one treasure that made the entire world hold its breath for its sheer wealth, mystery, and preservation through the millennia, it must be the tomb of Nebkheperur Tutankhamun, the young pharaoh whose legacy continues to astonish the modern world. The story began on November 4, 1922, under the scorching sun of the Valley of the Kings, Luxor, Egypt. A team of archaeologists, led by British expert Howard Carter, stumbled upon one of the greatest discoveries in the history of archaeology. It wasn't the largest tomb ever found, nor did it belong to Egypt's most powerful pharaoh. But King Tutankhamun's tomb became the most famous solid gold treasure of all time. What made the tomb truly exceptional was its near-perfect preservation after over 3,000 years buried beneath the sands of the desert. The moment Carter and his team stepped into the antechamber, they were stunned. In front of them were gold-covered chariots, ornate furniture, weapons, and countless exquisitely crafted royal belongings. But that was just the beginning. At the heart of the tomb, the burial chamber, stood 3 nested coffins, with the innermost one made entirely of solid gold, weighing over 220 pounds. Yes, you heard that right. Over 220 pounds of pure gold. Not to mention golden statues, treasure chests, jewelry, and countless priceless burial items. Over the next 10 years, Howard Carter painstakingly cataloged and preserved nearly 3,000 artifacts from the tomb, an effort that required exceptional care and deep knowledge of ancient Egyptian culture. Each item removed was like a puzzle piece, helping reconstruct a vivid picture of royal life in Egypt over 3,300 years ago. To this day, experts still can't put an exact price on the treasure discovered in King Tut's tomb. Beyond the staggering material value, the historical and cultural significance is immeasurable. If auctioned piece by piece, the total value could easily reach tens of billions of US dollars, and some items are simply priceless. What's more impressive is that the artifacts from Tutankhamun's tomb haven't just sat silently in museums. They've traveled the world, exhibited in the UK, France, the US, Japan, and more. Each time they appeared, millions lined up just for a glimpse, with many moved to tears by the experience. Did you know? Despite dying very young, at just 18 or 19 years old, King Tutankhamun is the most mentioned pharaoh among more than 170 rulers of ancient Egypt. Not because of military conquests, but because his tomb opened a doorway through time, giving future generations an unparalleled look into one of the greatest civilizations the world has ever known. And strangely enough, not long after the tomb was opened, a string of mysterious deaths struck some members of the excavation team, sparking rumors of the pharaoh's curse. No conclusive explanation has ever been found, but clearly the mysteries surrounding King Tut's treasure haven't ended. So what do you think? If given the chance, would you dare step into a 3,000-year-old tomb filled with treasures worth a fortune and legends that chill to the bone? Because maybe the real treasure isn't just the gold. It's the story that's been waiting silently for thousands of years to be told. The $500 million mountain of gold in an 88,000-pound treasure ship beneath the ocean. What would you think if I told you that hidden beneath the ocean lies a gold mine worth over $500 million, resting silently on the seafloor for more than 350 years? Sounds unbelievable, right? Then let me tell you the real-life treasure hunt that's more thrilling than any Indiana Jones movie. The incredible tale of the legendary ship Nuestra Señora de Atocha and the man who refused to give up, Mel Fisher. Let's go back in time to the year 1622, the golden era of the Spanish Empire. The Atocha, one of Spain's most prized galleons, was loaded with treasures plundered from across the colonies, Colombia, Peru, Mexico, and Venezuela. The cargo was so massive that it took nearly 2 months just to fully load the ship. But fate had other plans. Shortly after leaving port, a fierce hurricane struck the Caribbean, sending the Atocha and several other ships to the bottom of the sea, about 70 miles west of Florida. Inside the doomed vessel were records of 24 tons of silver, including 1,038 silver bars, 180,000 silver coins, 582 copper ingots, hundreds of chests of indigo, tobacco, cannons, and countless items of gold, silver, emeralds, and intricately crafted jewelry. Just imagining it is enough to understand how massive this treasure really was. Immediately after the disaster, Spain dispatched 5 large ships to recover the lost treasure, but all efforts failed. The Atocha had come to rest at a depth of around 55 feet, becoming a mystery that challenged explorers for centuries. It wasn't until over 300 years later that one man, Mel Fisher, emerged as the face of the greatest treasure hunt of the 20th century. In 1962, Fisher, along with his wife and children, began scouring the Florida coast, driven by a dream of finding riches beneath the waves. After years of searching, he learned about the Atocha and poured his heart, soul, finances, and even blood, sweat, and tears into the hunt. Then in 1975, a breakthrough. His son Dirk discovered 3 silver bars and 5 bronze cannons, believed to be from the Atocha. In 1980, Fisher located the wreck of Santa Margarita, another lost ship, recovering over $20 million in gold and silver. But the moment that changed everything came on July 20th, 1985. That day, Fisher's other son, Kane, called him in overwhelming excitement. "Dad, we found the Atocha!" And sure enough, there it was. Beneath the deep blue sea lay the massive treasure, about 88,000 pounds of gold and silver, over 1,000 silver bars, ancient gold coins, and a mesmerizing 70 pounds of Colombian emeralds shimmering in the ocean light. Estimated value? $500 million, a number so staggering it leaves people speechless. But treasure doesn't come without trouble. As soon as the news broke, the state of Florida tried to claim ownership and demanded 25% of the treasure. A legal battle ensued, dragging on for 8 years. Finally, in 1992, the U.S. Supreme Court issued a landmark ruling. The entire treasure rightfully belonged to Mel Fisher. Today, many of the Atocha's artifacts are displayed at the Mel Fisher Maritime Museum in Key West, Florida, attracting millions of visitors from around the world. And in 2014, the legendary ship was officially listed in the Guinness World Records as the most valuable shipwreck ever discovered. Gives you goosebumps, doesn't it? But as you can see, the story of Nuestra Señora de Atocha is not just about treasure. It's a timeless symbol of faith, persistence, and the relentless pursuit of what once seemed impossible. A treasure of 1,000 tons of gold and over 41,000 tons of silver in South America. Have you ever imagined that nestled among the dry, windswept mountains of South America lies a massive natural treasure? Not the kind of treasure hidden in pirate chests, but a vast reserve of precious metals that nature has been carefully wrapping up for millions of years, waiting for the right people to discover it at the right time. And that's exactly what's happening right now at the border between Argentina and Chile. A recent geological discovery has sent shockwaves through the global mining industry. The Vicuña region, stretching from San Juan province in Argentina to the Atacama region in Chile, has just been confirmed as one of the largest known deposits of copper, gold, and silver on Earth. But what might surprise you even more are the specific numbers. 13 million metric tons of copper, 32 million ounces of gold, which is roughly 1,000 US tons, and 659 million ounces of silver, equivalent to over 41,000 US tons. No exaggeration, this is quite literally the Earth's treasure trove. Currently, the entire Vicuña region is under the control of two mining giants, Lundin Mining and BHP. All eyes are now on two major mining projects, Filo del Sol and Josemaria. And here's the hot news, both have been ranked among the top 10 most promising copper mines in the world. And it's not just about copper, the quantities of gold and silver found here are also off the charts. Jack London, president and CEO of Lundin Mining, called it a world-class site and confidently stated, "This discovery is not just a turning point for Vicuña, but it also reveals an incredibly high-quality mineral core." At this point, you might be thinking, well, all that gold and silver is probably just for making jewelry, right? If that's what you thought, you'd be wrong. Let me tell you how valuable these resources really are and see if it changes your perspective. Copper, gold, and silver aren't just beautiful. They're essential in modern technology. They are critical materials used in the production of microchips, communication devices, spacecraft, jet engines, and countless electronics you use every single day. If that doesn't blow your mind, I don't know what will. What fascinates me even more than the economic value is how this treasure came to be. Sounds strange, I know, but it was the result of massive geological plate collisions millions of years ago. Molten magma from deep within the Earth rose to the surface, carrying with it superheated fluids rich in dissolved metals. These fluids seeped into cracks in the rock and over time cooled down to form veins of precious metals. Then came erosion, water flow, sedimentation, slowly shaping these alluvial mineral deposits into the incredible ore bodies we see today. But, like everything in life, this treasure has two sides. While the discovery sounds amazing, the race to mine it comes with a heavy cost. To access and extract these resources, massive infrastructure must be built. Roads, excavation zones, giant machinery. Entire untouched mountain regions could be transformed into industrial zones. And that's when the environmental question becomes unavoidable. Nature took millions of years to create this gift. Humans could wipe it out in just a few decades. Behind the dazzling numbers and billion-dollar estimates lies the very real threat of destroying the very land that made us rich in the first place. So, what would you choose? Would you sacrifice nature for a massive treasure like this? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. A $3.5 million treasure, 66 pounds of pure gold found beneath an Austrian villa. Some days start off just like any other. You go to work without expecting anything out of the ordinary. But then, out of nowhere, luck drops right into your lap, turning an ordinary plumber into a millionaire with just one swing of a shovel. As unbelievable as it sounds, this story is 100% true. It happened in late 2024 in Vienna, the capital of Austria. At the time, a plumber was renovating the basement of an old villa in the city center when he noticed a piece of rope sticking out from the concrete floor. At first, he thought it was an old electrical wire or some leftover debris. He tried to pull it out, but it wouldn't budge. So he grabbed a pickaxe and shovel to dig it up. And guess what? That decision changed his life forever. After a few swings, the concrete began to crack, revealing a rusted metal chest that had clearly aged over time. At that moment, his heart probably started pounding, because whatever was buried down there, it clearly wasn't a joke. Using all his strength, he forced the chest open. What he saw next was beyond belief. 66 pounds of pure gold coins, gleaming despite having been buried underground for decades. Even more astonishing, the coins were stamped with the image of the legendary composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart, Austria's national icon and source of pride. The entire hoard was estimated to be worth $3.5 million. Yes, you heard that right. That's a massive fortune. What makes the story even crazier is that several other workers had previously done renovations in that same basement, but none of them noticed that small piece of rope. Maybe it really does take the right person to see what others overlook. And even more lucky for the plumber, under Austrian law, discovered treasures are split 50-50 between the finder and the property owner. As a result, he legally pocketed around £1 million, over $1.25 million, a sum most people can only dream of. A friend of his later shared the story on a German TV show, leaving audiences in both Austria and Germany stunned by this stroke of incredible fortune. But one big question remains: why was such a large treasure buried under the basement of a villa in the first place? Experts believe the coins were most likely hidden during World War II, when wealthy European families were trying to protect their assets from bombs, looting, and political chaos. When the original owner either went missing or never made it back, the treasure remained untouched for nearly a century, until this born-to-be-rich plumber stumbled upon it. Now imagine this. You go outside tomorrow morning to dig in your yard, and you see a rope sticking out of the ground. Would you pull it? I think you would, because who knows, you might just be the next millionaire. As you can see, from the wreck of the Atocha off the coast of Florida, to the gold reserves buried in the Andes Mountains, to long-forgotten mines deep beneath the ground in Asia, these are more than just material wealth. They are living pieces of history, powerful reminders of human ambition, greed, and the boundless spirit of exploration. Many of these discoveries have redrawn the archaeological map, and in some cases, even shifted the course of history itself, from the age of the Americas' colonization to the global race toward industrialization. Some treasures are tied to tragedy, others offer new hope for economies on the rise. That's why every time a treasure is unearthed, the real question isn't just how much is it worth, but also what secrets of the past has it been hiding from us all this time? So, what do you think is the most history-changing treasure ever discovered? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications so we can keep uncovering the buried mysteries of our world together.